Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't hear part 1. Guys, it's because we put out a lot of recaps. Go back and listen to part 1, okay? It's before this one. Enjoy the show.
And then cut to, at long last, Whitney in a car. She's with Connor. They have all their belongings in a car. I'm like, I don't understand why they have all their belongings in their car, because they were in Hawaii. So why isn't everything just shipped to them? Like, did they just like ship their belongings to like California and then drive from California?
It's very confusing. I'm not really sure how any of this worked, but I'm like, you can't drive from Hawaii, right? Like, were they staying in Pennsylvania and just using green screen to act like they were in Hawaii? Like,
I think so. I think they were just in Provo. So
because Hawaii is kind of a weird place to be like, we picked up and we moved to Hawaii. Like, you just don't. Are you allowed to even do that? I think Hawaii is like, we have to approve you.
I think there's actually a large Mormon population in Hawaii, so maybe there's a connection with that. But still, I feel like it's not easy just to pick up and move to Hawaii. So it's something about it all seems like a little fishy.
Yeah, it's fishy. But you know what's not fishy? That she left, because her name is Whitney Leave It. I feel like it's there in the name. Whitney gonna run, you know?
And what's funny is that, by the way, they have all this stuff, like boxes. They're driving and they've got boxes behind them. You cannot see outside the rear view window. And at one point, Whitney, I think it was Whitney, she like reaches her hand behind the boxes like, you okay back there? You okay? So I think it's just like a dog back there. But it's the kids. These two, like baby and a toddler, are behind a wall of boxes. Just back there. I was like, you got children back there?
Yeah.
What is happening with these people?
Just because I love reading signs, we know that Whitney's going to be the big miserable villain of the show, because she's like, I'm from Happy Valley, Utah. Like, come on. You're making this too easy. So she's like, yeah, at the beginning of TikTok, and also her eyebrows are a little, as you call them, apostrophe eyebrows. She's very like quote within a quote eyebrows. So she's like, in the beginning of Mom Talk, it was me, Macy, Michaela, and Taylor. And we were really solid. Look at these clips. And they're like, there's a crash on the freeway. People died. Yeah. But it says Taylor came out and said Mom Talk was involved in swinging. I was in the thick of it here with all these rumors being spread about my family.
So we moved to Hawaii for 2 months to get away from the noise. Totally a reasonable thing to do. So now they arrive at their new house that they bought sight unseen, and they're like, "Oh my God, I love it! I love the idea that like buying a house sight unseen. Like, who knows what they're gonna get? It's like every single house we've ever seen on this show and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and even that like design show we watch. They're all the same, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's a very white house.
Oh my God. It's a modern farmhouse in a row house. Like a row.
I can't wait to get a white sofa to put right in the middle of it.
Yeah. So then Whitney's like, she explains like how when she first had her kid, she had her first kid and she was like, oh my God. I was like, is this it? So I'm just a mom? I mean, not to say that that's a bad thing, but I just didn't want that to define me, which is why I helped come up with a hashtag that has mom in the title.
Mom Talk. And then being invited to Mom Talk and getting together with these other women who had the same goals was refreshing, and it was exciting. And then we see them dancing, and then she goes, after Taylor blew up Mom Talk, I think we all needed that time away from each other. We needed that space, and I'm ready. I'm back from Hawaii, and I want us all to come together. Let's start dance. Well, I guess we really shouldn't say come together in the context of this situation, because that's sort of what got us into this.
Yeah, to be fair, we've been trying to come together for a long time, and it never really happened. So let's just start doing some videos. Like, it's happening.
Soft coming.
That's how we do it in Utah. We soft come. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. It's all happening. She's got Meghan McCain vibes, doesn't she? She even wears like kind of a satin dress at one point that's very Meghan McCain. And she has her hair very Meghan McCain-y in this part.
Her hair's blonde. But when she becomes a redhead in about 2 seconds, she starts to look more like Allison Roman to me. I was like, oh my goodness, it's someone who's about to put some anchovies all over this show.
And what's funny is that one of Allison Roman's favorite things is dill. So
Let's make a deal.
Yeah, let's make a deal. Okay, so then they arrived at their sight unseen house, and it's, Whitney's house. It's the other Whitney. It's Whitney Rose's house. And she's like,
Yes.
yeah. So we see the house a little bit, and then they have counter champagne, like real estate agent champagne, which, by the way, I didn't know was a thing, that the real estate agent just gives you champagne. Yeah. And my real estate agent gave me champagne, and I was like, that is literally the sweetest person I've ever met in my life. Like, I wrote a thank you card. I was like, that is so nice. He really wants to be friends. And then someone was like, Ronnie, everybody does that when they sell a house.
So they're like, neither of them have ever had champagne before. And Connor, and actually, she's never even had alcohol. So we're seeing this kind of a milestone moment for her, or at least
I don't believe this for 2 seconds. Like, oh my God, alcohol, never. Let's have some right now.
Like, that's disgusting. Ew. People drink this. People pay a lot of money for that. It's disgusting. Anyway, someone find me a soda that I could put half and half into, as well as some Mountain Dew and licorice.
Yeah, I'm getting Mama's getting wasted tonight. So she's like, yeah, I really need to talk to Taylor. Like, we just need to air out our grievances and move past this. And we need to grow from it and become better from it. So then we cut to a brunch.
A place called Brunch Hard.
Why is this show so obsessed with soft and hard?
I know. Brunch Hard. So Michaela and Whitney sit down, and Michaela's like, my name is Michaela Matthews. I'm 23 years old, and I've been married to my husband, Jace, for 6 years now. And I have 3 kids, Beckham, Haven, and Tommy. Beckham, Haven, and Tommy. Oh, gosh. I was born and raised Mormon, and my mom was one of the church leaders, so we would have to act like the most perfect little Mormon family.
And they're like, so how old were you when you met Jace? And she's like, 16. And then I got pregnant before marriage. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm like, and so Jace was 21 when this happened. Isn't that statutory rape? Am I crazy?
Well, we have a note here in our notes, because he was 21 and she was 16, as you said. And our note taker, Shelby. Hi, Shelby. Thanks for the notes. It says, I assume this was a crime, and in my mind it is one. My girlfriend is a probation officer for sex offenders, and we looked into it. And in Utah, the age of consent is 18, but there's an exception for if the person is less than 4 years older than the minor, but he's more than 4 years older. However, there is such a thing as a Romeo and Juliet law that allows for minors to consent to sexual relationships if the person is within 7 years. Wow. Well, Utah's going to
soft statutory rape.
Yeah, but Utah's going to just change some laws if they need to. They're like, listen,
soft consent.
It's not so bad. Listen, it's really hard to get someone within 5 years. Come on. They're like, okay, what about 7 years? Okay.
So anyway, Michaela's talking about how she's been using social media to talk about her illness. She has a skin condition and no one knows why. Like, no one understands. So that's also one of the things that she's dealing with. Because like when we first see her, her eyes are sort of like, there's definitely like, there's a look about her. You're like, oh my goodness. I was like, wow, motherhood must be hard on her.
Yeah,
it turns out that
she's kind of sickly looking. She has like dark circles under her eyes all the time.
Right.
And there's kind of a sadness to her. But I mean,
I feel bad for her because she probably wants to be like, out there with the same energy or whatever as everyone else. And, this thing is probably weighing on her. Gosh, it's awful. So that's what she's dealing with.
Having a baby since you're 16. It's like,
and she said, and on top of that, she's also been a mom since she was like a sophomore in high school. So.
Yeah, that's a lot. So then, let's see. So then Whitney comes like, oh my God. And Michaela's like, I don't want to sit next to Taylor. I'm scared. Should I sit over here?
And by the way, Shelby also notes, meanwhile, they were at a round table with 3 people, so everyone's sitting next to everyone.
So she's like, okay, you be Taylor. And then Whitney's like, what's up, bitch? Just kidding. And she goes, no, but she would say that, though. Like, literally, she would say, like, what's up, bitch?
Okay, and Whitney's like, okay, this is what she'll do. She'll go, hi guys, how's everyone doing? And Michaela goes, good, how are you? Okay, and then she'll go, good, like my titties. And they laugh. They're like, oh my God, that's so Taylor.
And Michaela's like, "Oh my God, actually, I'm actually very jealous." She's like, "Yeah, I'm part of the original group of Mom Talk. It's nice to have Whitney back, especially going into this conversation with Taylor. I know there's a lot to be said. So, who's your plastic surgeon?" And Whitney's like, Dr. Chitty Chitty Titty.
I haven't seen Taylor in quite some time since the swinger drama. And yeah, I do have some issues with Taylor, says Whitney. So Michaela is like, they're all just like really nervous. They're nervous about Taylor coming in.
But Whitney's
like,
being
okay,
like
just breathe,
such
just
a,
breathe,
she's being
just
such a
breathe.
bee, you know? She's like, "Oh my God, she's going to talk about her titties. She's going to come in and be totally fake." So then Taylor does come in and Whitney immediately is, "Oh my God, hi." So fucking fakely. I was like, "You hypocrite."
Yes.
And then so Taylor comes in and they said something like, Michaela's like, "Oh, if I'm rubbing my boob, it's because my boobs hurt because I stopped breastfeeding." And Taylor's like, "Yeah, it's okay because if I touch my boobs, it's just because I just got some." Sorry, guys, I copped to it. Got new boobs. So I like that Whitney was the one to be fake, but she also called that Taylor was going to show up and immediately be like, "I got boobs."
Well, what's funny about this show, because I can already see it happening, is like Taylor is like the awful one here. She is a monster. She's the one. She blew up everyone's orgy. She then gets arrested very shortly after this, and she's like a bad friend. She only talks about herself. But I guarantee we're going to see that Whitney's going to get the villain edit, and Taylor's going to be like the hero. And it's so fucked up. This is like the Teresa Giudice effect.
Oh no, Whitney's the villain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's not an edit.
Like Teresa
Whitney's
is
a fucking villain. I mean, Taylor. Look, Taylor.
I'm Team
and
Whitney.
we're getting ahead of ourselves plot wise, but not that that's new for us. But yeah. In this episode, especially, Taylor's kind of the villain. Like, they definitely have us being like, "Oh my God, fuck this girl." Like, all the reasons you just said. But Whitney's also terrible. I don't think there has to be one terrible person. And I think the big difference that we see, and I'm spoiler alert, but that we see in episode 2 is all the changes that Taylor goes through so rapidly. By episode 2, you already see a huge evolution because you already see her thinking, which is crazy. Like, she actually looks thoughtful a couple of times, and it's like a totally different person in a way from this person that we're seeing in this episode, because some time passes and stuff, but she totally changes, and Whitney just becomes more and more horrible. So I think it's interesting because she's like, we're already seeing evolving from Frankie Taylor, whatever her buns is, but then Whitney just seems to be getting more and more terrible as we go. And listen, I'm here
because Taylor's going to get the edit of like, she was awful, but she hit rock bottom, and now she is just looking to grow and get redemption, and we should support her. And Whitney's gonna be like the non-supportive one who's gonna laugh at her and be just like an evil bitch. So like, it's just funny to me because you see that Whitney is like, she is the villain and she's going to be the villain, but like in reality, I don't know. I think I kind of side with Whitney a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely side with Whitney over the being mad that she blew up their spot. You know, that wasn't cool. And then we'll get into it with this conversation. So, but I just think it's so obviously Whitney is the villain from this scene, because just how she's like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna be so fake," and she starts mean girling her, and just how she's talking about her, like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna talk about her titties from the chitty chitty titty guy," and then when she walks in, Whitney is the one who's so fake. I was like, "Oh, I see you, Whitney. Whitney's the monster."
Yeah,
it was Whitney.
Whitney wants to be the star of Mom Talk. So, so they're talking about the boobs and everything. And then Taylor's like, "How have you been?" And Whitney's like, "I've been good. I feel like I haven't even slept at all because we literally got off of a plane, put a bunch of boxes into our car inexplicably, and moved into our home. Turns out they weren't even our boxes. So we're kind of in trouble for that. But the good news is we found 2 children behind the boxes, so we're just going to keep them, make them ours." And I feel like I'm on like this crazy high, you know, the high that comes from leaving a gorgeous, gorgeous island paradise and moving into a generic home. That kind of high. I'm just on it right now. But I miss Hawaii already.
And Taylor's like, "Yeah, I didn't even know you were moving back." So like, she goes, "Yeah, I'm back." But like moving back or just like visiting back? "No, I'm back. She's like, "Oh, yeah, but I didn't know that." She's, "Well, surprise." Just yeah, but actually,
what part of these TV cameras says I'm not moving back? Okay, I'm back.
Like, actually, I didn't really like know the reason like why Whitney like left, and like she didn't tell me, and nobody told me, and like honestly, I thought we were closer than that. I love that you're the victim. You just fucking fucked up everybody's lives. And you're like, I can't believe nobody talked to me about it. I thought we were friends.
Even though I didn't talk to any of them when I went and exposed everything. So Whitney's like, so I have a question for you. I want to know why you posted that video, because we built a relationship and I genuinely was like, cool. I don't trust Taylor. And I feel betrayed, and like genuinely was like, I don't feel safe with Taylor. I never want to make a video with Taylor ever again. Like, I still don't trust you. Like, you have to trust someone if you're going to make content with them.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I just feel like this story could have been approached differently. Like, I feel like it was very exploiting, like names of people that had nothing to do with this, like absolutely nothing. And I don't trust you with certain things because I don't know what you're going to do with that information. Like, if I say for this video, let's find like Michael Bublé, but like a remix, and then we could do like a really fun dance. I don't know if you're going to tell the world that that's my plan.
Yeah, but like, am I supposed to like say sorry for my post? Because like, I don't know, like, I guess like what I'm saying like is I'm not apologizing for my post. Like, it's not that I don't care about people. It's just like mostly like what people think online. Like, I knew people were going to be like that. Like, I knew it was going to be like hyped, you know, like controversy. Like, I knew it. So what an odd response. She's just like, yeah, I knew it was going to be controversial. So you're welcome.
She's gonna frame herself as the hero. Like, look at the attention I brought to
you. And Michaela's like, yeah, but like everyone's picking Mom Talk apart, okay? And like picking apart our relationships. Like, oh my God, is it Whitney and Connor? Are they doing this? Like, is Whitney's husband doing this? And like, I feel like that's where it was hard for people, like meaning me. And so like, I just thought it was like Taylor's trying to drag everyone down with her. And so I was like, that's not cool. You get that, right? And she's like, well, like, it was frustrating. It was like moms were coming to me crying, and I was like, why are you crying? Like, you're more famous now.
Yeah, and they're all like, this is ruining our lives, take it down, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like joking about it on their TikToks. And I'm like, so this ruined your life, but now you're joking about it? Like, I'm confused. How about a thank you? Like, thank you, Taylor. Thank you for elevating my brand.
She's such an asshole. That is so funny. They're making jokes about what's going on in their lives because it's a big embarrassing thing that happened. Of course, they're going to joke about it, you know? But she's like, yeah, where are you?
Otherwise, they cry.
Yeah, she's like, why aren't you thanking me? Now, on the other hand, of course, this did skyrocket all of them to way bigger levels, probably. So,
Hulu.
Yeah, I guess ultimately they do owe her a thanks. But, you know, I feel like she does need to at least go through the process of being like, sorry, guys, that wasn't cool. And you're welcome.
Yeah. You know what? There would be no Mom Talk if I hadn't created it. And I feel like that I should be given a little bit of grace in this situation. I was being torn to shreds for like ruining people's lives and then using it, but then they're using it for clout. Like, did I ruin your life or did I help your life?
Oh my God. So Whitney's like, yeah, but like there's like a line, right? Like when we're friends, like I feel like we grew a relationship. So like, why would you make that video? She goes, I didn't like think about it. So I guess I'm sorry that I like, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something to be sorry for, but like I just I can't come up with it. And you know that saying sorry is like my favorite thing. I love coughing to things, but like right now I just like, I don't know.
You know what, guys? This is Whitney speaking here again. We need this. We need this community, this Mom Talk community. And I want us to be loyal to each other and feel safe with each other and honest with each other. And I'm going to keep on going if you don't say you agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pledge here, Whitney, Whitney, as we sit here in Brunch Harder, from here on out, we have each other's backs.
Oh my God, like it was so good clearing the earth, my friends. It's like you did not clear the air. You took no responsibility. You just nodded and smiled and looked towards the exit a lot. So now we go to the Jizz Salon with Jessie. And she's now dyeing Whitney's hair red. Whitney's like, I just don't want him to find me. Who, Whitney? I mean, I can't wait to be a redhead. It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
We were at Whitney and Connor's house, and he's asking her how she feels about being back from Hawaii. His hair is totally different now. She has red hair. Everything's great. So Whitney is like, hey, so I was looking through some old videos today, and I know we were only in Hawaii for a little bit, but I kind of miss that because I feel like we ran away from something, and I don't want to lie about it anymore. She goes, Taylor even asked me the other day about the whole Tinder rumor, and I denied it again.
He's like, oh my God, we don't have to lie anymore. Oh, he just takes off his mustache and his wig. He's like, thank God. He's got a whole new look. And he goes, yeah, it was probably hard for you to lie about that. She's like, yeah. I could just think at the time, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't even know what I wanted. And he's like crying. He's like, I just hate talking about what happened to me in the same breath as what I did to you because it just flips the script and it turns me into a victim when in this scenario I'm not, But which scenario are you a victim? Because he's insinuating that he was a victim in some scenario, but in this one he's not. And he's like, and I just definitely want there to be a distinction, because these were actions I took and I had a real problem. It led to something that really hurt my wife and I'm so really, really sorry. And I'm working on myself. Mostly I'm doing it by just learning to clench a fist really tight, move in and out of it with my penis. You're talking about masturbating again, honey. Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry about that. It's just I just don't care what anybody outside of my inner circle thinks. Right now, really all I care about is getting in something with a motorboat and turning on that motorboat and just being like, babe, you're talking about motorboating again. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
And I pledge right now, I'm going to cancel all my Pornhub accounts and OnlyFans subscriptions. She's like, babe, I was talking about your addiction to Diet Coke. What are you talking about? Nothing.
So she's like, nobody knows our secret. When they asked us, we said it was a lie. Because I think when we look at religion, when you go through the temple and make those covenants, you make promises to God, and sin is more serious. I just think that it's really hard, because religion. No, it's hard because your husband's fucking people off the count. Don't blame. No. Get rid of that man. Get rid of that frosty tipped motherfucker right now. Get rid of him.
Well, for ex-frosty tip, because now the frosted tips are gone for no explainable reason. So she goes, I'm just a little nervous about it now. What are they going to think? I don't know if they're going to hate you or if they're going to hate me for making the choice to stay with you. It's a pretty deep wound. And I want to tell them now because otherwise mom talk may never survive this.
It's also, something that mom talk has been kind of suffering. It's kind of been going down since they all stopped doing it. And what got mom talk really making them all money was controversy. So I like that she's like, you know what? I'm going to do a TV show and expose your cheating, you fuck. And I'm going to profit off of it. Yeah. So get ready, you bitch. And good for her because fuck this guy. We don't even know why yet, but fuck this guy.
Ding, 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 ding. It's time for an official mom talk meeting. Okay, everyone gather at the house with the white sofa. Yay. So they all are gathering and Macy's like, oh my God, you know what I hate? I hate toilet seats. And if there's no toilet seat, you know what I do? I put toilet paper on the toilet seat. It's wow, a real innovator there.
Yeah, so, if there's not a covering on the toilet paper, I'm not even going to do it. I'm that kind of person.
Because I'm a boss bitch.
I'm a boss bitch. Ah.
So they're like, what's going on, guys? I don't know. It's just it's a family meeting. And Whitney said she wants to get all the girls together. And this is really important. We got to hear it. Oh my God, Whitney's going to come over. Oh my God. I just hope everything's going to be okay with mom talk.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh my God, is it serious? Oh my God, is it serious?
Oh my God, oh my God. I'm emotionally not fulfilled by my husband. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, I'm anxious.
So then Whitney comes over and they're like, so Whitney, and Macy's like, yeah, what would you do if you saw a toilet and it didn't have a cover, it didn't have a paper cover on it? Would you sit on it anyway or would you add toilet paper? I would add toilet paper. I'm a bad bat.
I call that soft pooping where I just hover over the toilet.
So they're like, Whitney, did you have something that you want to talk about? And she's like, guys, there was a rumor that Connor was on Tinder, and I don't know if you guys remember that rumor. They're like, nope, haven't heard of it. I guess we remember the rumor that your husband was on fucking Tinder. Yeah, we remember.
Well, I lied about it because I was so embarrassed, and I didn't even know if it was true until I confronted Connor, and I went up to him and I was like, look at this joke, right? And there was more to that. Guys, he had been struggling with a porn addiction, and I didn't want to say anything, so I didn't want to come out because I just feel like there's a whole story, you know, and there's a reason why people do certain things, and I think he was just confused, guys. He was confused. He's really attracted to me. He loves me, but I literally said, like, this does not happen to me. This isn't something that happens to me, and I literally haven't told anyone. It's just like something that we're working through. He like looked at porn, guys. I'm just like, I can't.
And they're like, oh my God, can I ask you something? Did it go further than Tinder? She's like, oh my God, no. Like, he would never meet up with anything. It wasn't like that. I mean, it was just Tinder. It was just like Tinder. And they're like, how long has it been going on? She's like our whole marriage. This is so bad. Oh my God. And this is the thing. Like, you can't be having babies with people when you're 16. I know that Whitney wasn't 16, but I just mean, like, you need a little more life. Like, you really need to learn that men are pigs. Like, you need to learn to read signs. You can't just be marrying the first Tom, Dick, and Harry, or the first, you know, Jevin,
Connor,
Taylor, and Rick that you meet.
Tommy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Haven. Yeah.
You can't run away with the first Haven that crosses your path.
I know. It's not a safe haven. So he basically was sending nudes to girls on Instagram. He was like flirting with
He was having sex. He was having like Tinder. He was having like online sex video chats.
Emotional affairs.
Yeah. Sexting, if you will.
Sexting, exactly. And so Demi tells us, you know, life can be really sticky and complicated, but no matter what you're going through.
Right?
Yeah. By the way, let me start that from the top because I messed it up.
Talking about someone with a jerking off addiction, okay? Can we not?
Guys, life can be really sticky and complicated, but no matter what you're going through, we have this mom talk group to lean on.
Guys, I know this can be tough to swallow, but we need to think of mom talk.
Yeah. You know, guys, this can be a lot to come at you, but all at once.
I think we like really need to concentrate on like pleasing ourselves. Oh, I'm so sorry, Whitney. What I meant was it's mom talk, guys. We're here for mom talk.
Mom talk is going to save us at the end of the day. And Whitney goes, I just feel like my whole marriage was just a lie. And Michaela goes, yeah, that's hard. And I could see why with porn, it makes a little more sense. Like, cause he's like confused sexually, but with Tinder, I feel like it's different, you know? I'm like, yeah, good one, Michaela.
And Taylor's like, how do you know? Like, he didn't, like, he's just telling you didn't meet up with people. Like, how do you know? Or like, do you not know? And Whitney's like, thanks, Taylor. Okay. I know by word. That's how I know. And Taylor's like, guys, like she's questioning people with her teeth. And she's like, well, I mean, if you guys can like look past my stuff, I guess we can look past Connor's stuff, right? And she goes, yeah, please don't look at Connor differently.
She was like, I just hope this doesn't mean you got this, like, makes you look at Connor any differently. They're like, oh, no, it doesn't, because he's been DMing us on Instagram for years, so we've already known this about him. Yeah.
I've got, like, 30 cum shots of Connor's on my phone, so.
It was a hard flirt in this case.
I love that she was talking to the group where everybody fucked each other's husbands. She's like, you guys, he was on Tinder jerking off. And they're like, oh.
And she's like, you know, that's why I left mom talk, you know, because I felt like I couldn't go anywhere. But honestly, we left because I just wanted to get away. I was like a Southwest commercial, want to get away. And I wanted to get away from everything because I just wanted to just think for myself and everything. I'm so sorry that I left mom talk behind, guys. Can you ever forgive me?
And she's basically like, yeah, I'm sorry for blaming Taylor's drama on me leaving. And Taylor's like, it's okay. Like, she's the one who gets to forgive, which is hilarious. And Whitney's like, yeah, because that wasn't even the reason. So then Taylor's like, well, I have news. So everyone's like, you have news? Okay, what's the news? She goes, well, like, I'm super overwhelmed with everything. And like, yeah, like, I've been pregnant for like 4 weeks. And Whitney's just like,
what?
Bitch. Whitney just gets this look on her face like, are you fucking kidding me? You're upstaging my husband cheating with your pregnancy?
She's like, you fucking, I'll never forgive you. Meanwhile, Taylor is sitting there on this white couch. She has her legs crossed and she's placed her like big gulp, her brown big gulp of what I assumed was coffee, but as many people pointed out, it probably was not coffee, but it was a brown beverage. And she's just cradling it in between her leg creases and on this white sofa. And I was like, this is why she will always be the villain to me. It doesn't matter what sort of redemptive arc she gets. She is one spasm away from spilling that entire brown beverage on this pristine white sofa. I'll never forgive her.
So she's like, yeah, well, by the way, back to my story. I think I miscarried, but I'm going to the hospital every day because like they have to draw blood because like maybe I miscarried because I had a ton of blood. Like, I don't know, but like I was calling my doctor and they're like, maybe you miscarried. And then like I have an ectopic pregnancy either way. So like either way, the baby's not going to, no one really knows. But I'm like, have you been to the doctor? What is going on here? What is this? What happened? Like the doctor would tell you. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not going to be pregnant. So you know what? This is like, one of those moments I'm going to step back and just say, you don't understand.
She's oddly matter of fact about it and casual. She's acting like she was going to buy a shirt at the Gap and then she decided not to. And then she changed her mind and went back to the Gap to buy it and it was already gone. And she's like, yeah, so that's where we're at. She goes, yeah, it's been kind of like depressing. And so Whitney's like, what? The actual fuck, Taylor? What the hell are you doing? Immediately right after sharing this trauma that's happening to me, you immediately talk about something that's traumatic going on with your life?
And they're like, okay, well, are you going to be more careful moving forward? She goes, yeah, I'm just like, I'm very like, just like everywhere, every day. You know what I mean? Like, not really. What did that mean? It just means like, it's like, am I going to be careful? Like, I mean, am I here? Maybe. Like, am I there? Probably. Like, where am I? I don't know. Like, all the places. That's what I'm saying, you guys. You get it? They're like, yeah, Taylor, totally got it. She's like, guys, I love us.
Thank God for mom talk. So now Taylor and Dakota go on a date at a sushi restaurant called Tsunami, which of course they go to a place called Tsunami. And Taylor tells us, Dakota and I didn't expect to get pregnant, let alone have a miscarriage. At this time, I feel like we're just wanting to move on and order a California roll. And we're just going to work on a relationship. Both of our pasts, we have very messy pasts, and we just want to be a better person. He wants me to be a better person, and that's why I really like him, because he wants to do more wholesome things together, like make sure that I change for him. That's just like wonderful.
So he's like, oh my God, isn't it crazy that we're together? He has these really big, wide eyes.
His eyes.
He's such a fucking liar. This guy's a compulsive liar. Like, he's giving every sign. He has big, huge, wide eyes. He's really cute, by the way. But he's got these big, huge, wide eyes. He's got the baby voice where he's like talking like, I'm just a little kid who doesn't understand things, which we've learned on Bravo is just like a telltale sign of a fuckboy and a liar. And then he's like, isn't it crazy how we met? She goes, yeah, you got into my DMs. And he goes, and do you remember what you said to me in your reply, honey? She goes, yeah, that you look like Jake Gyllenhaal.
This guy cannot sit still for 1 second. His eyes are bulging. He's like fidgeting around. I'm surprised he like didn't knock over the soy sauce. And she's like, I would never share you. He goes, yeah, your sharing days are over. They're done. Meanwhile, he's probably fucking 3 girls on the side. Let's be honest. We can tell.
Yeah. And so she's like, well, like, do you want to marry me? And he's like, yeah, I want to marry you. I'm freaking obsessed with you. That's why I went to your fucking Instagram. Like, so like with church, like, do you want to be like married in the temple still? Or is that like something you want? He's such a fan. It's so weird. It's weird. Yeah,
My answer would be I don't want it because I don't follow the rules. And that's like a given. And he goes, yeah, like when I came back to the church, I was like, it was like a very high power God moment for me that they were like saving my life. Like even being in recovery, right? Like I turn everything to God. Like obviously with my past, I can't be with you if you want to like party. And unfortunately for me, it's like a life or death decision.
And she's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've thought about it, but like, I mean, like, I'm just like going to be honest. Like, it's like sad for me being like, I can't drink like ever again. Like, that sucks for me, you know? So like, it's something I enjoy in moderation. Like, I drink out with my friends, you know? And he's like, yeah, get where you're coming from with that. But I know what I want in my future. And it's not that. Okay, you crazy kids.
Yeah. It's not that at all.
You can't do this.
And
You can't be.
Well,
You
it's
can't.
gonna be
This is not
100%
how
that.
relationships work. If you're going to be sober and you don't want a partner that uses, good for you. Actually, that's a valid choice. Don't be with a partner that uses and then make them stop. Like, that's not how that works. And you don't be with someone who doesn't want you to use and then be like, well, I should be able to. No, you're with the person who's barely hanging on to sobriety. Not right for each other. But also, yeah, he's using it as like a control issue.
So Taylor says, in this mom talk group, we like to party. And oh my gosh, I don't know how I keep finding these men that don't like drinking because it's like, I like drinking. I'm like, here's a clue. You're in Utah.
You're in Utah. You're like, oh my God, why do I keep fucking guys with Mickey Mouse ears? You're fucking people into Disneyland. What do you think is going to happen?
I feel like this might be an issue, actually, to be honest, but like, I won't lie. Like, I'm drinking tonight and I'm going to get like fucked up. So then we see like little videos of people at home doing things like Jess is putting a baby to bed, Whitney and Connor are putting their kids to bed. It's like, yay. Everything in mom talk is so fun and happy. The group's getting back together. What could go wrong?
What's the city and address of your emergency? There's like a domestic violence going on. And it's like, dun dun, it gets really serious really fast. And we start getting cop footage, body cam footage. And so a neighbor is calling about domestic violence. And they say, somebody's screaming, get off of me. There's a woman screaming. There's like a garage door opening and shutting. And it sounds like she's trying to get out. And I don't know if the kids are there right now because I think she shares with her ex-husband. So then we see body cam footage. We hear Taylor screaming.
Neighbor so knows, but the neighbor has been waiting for this moment because that neighbor obviously knows everything that's going on with this relationship. Like, I think that she shares time with her ex-husband. Like, how do you know that, neighbor? You got in the dirt about this and you've been waiting to call the cops.
Yeah. And so we hear Taylor screaming, shut up. And then Dakota's like, stop it. What are you doing? Please stop. And then the cop shows up and Dakota's like, she's hammered. She's so drunk. And she's like, he's hammered. He's like, no, I'm sober. So they basically separate him. We don't see him. We see her. The cop interviews her outside. Yeah. And she tells the cop that he threw her in the garage. And apparently what happened, and this is, I don't think we hear it here. I think I read it on a thread on Reddit. I'm just like this cast. Like, that's what I heard on Reddit. But that I think she was on Nick Vile's podcast saying that she was really drunk. They got in a fight in the car. She started throwing stuff at him. And so he was trying to get her off of him, I guess, by putting her in the garage. But then she was trying to get out of the garage and he kept closing the door so she couldn't get out. I mean, the whole thing sounds like a total clusterfuck. But it was odd to me that they just believed him immediately because her story sounds pretty scary, that he's pretending to be sober, but that he's hammered and he's being abusive and then accusing her of being abusive. But then I guess he was videotaping her and that was his evidence to get her taken away and thrown in jail.
Yeah, some of this video footage is redacted, we see, so we don't get the full thing, so we don't know what happened in the redacted parts there, but we do hear that she threw like metal chairs at him and stuff. And
it almost hit their kid, I think, like one of their kids.
Yes, exactly. And so as a result, she gets placed under arrest for domestic violence and gets carted off.
Yeesh.
And so that is the very wild climax of this first episode that actually appears, I've only watched through episode 2, but it appears like that is the foundation from which the rest of the series actually grows from. Like, here you think the show is going to be about Whitney coming back and then figuring this all out, but we're now in the next episode going to flash forward about like 11 months or so from this situation, and then it's like, how does Mom Talk survive this, guys?
Yeah. Crazy. Wow, what an interesting show. I didn't know it was going to be so interesting, but I'm into it. And they really do put their lives out there. My God.
It is. I just love how much they just care about Mom Talk. They're like, we've created a community with this hashtag and we need to make sure that dancing in sports bras can continue on.
Yeah. They're like, guys, we've all figured out what life is like without Mom Talk. And we need to make this shit happen again. So what are we going to do when we create? And I like that they're stuff, that their content that they create is all just them dancing and then putting captions of whatever's going on in their life. It's just so weird.
I know.
It's like,
I know, and that's so many people. It's like they've got so many followers. Like, it's
people
it's
love
so
it.
strange.
It really is. It is nuts. And they showed a part where all the controversy was blowing up, and they're on all these news shows and stuff. And they're like, oh my God, the sex scandal with the Mormons. Did you hear about any of that stuff when it happened?
I missed all of it, but Dom heard about it when I was like, he was like, what are you watching? I was like, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It's basically like these Mormon girls, and they were soft swinging. He goes, oh yeah, that was huge. So like, it definitely was out there. It just, I think that for me, sometimes we focus so much on Bravo and Bravo gossip that like, I'm just not always, I sometimes have blinders on to like other worlds of scandal and things happening, and so I kind of miss things until they're sort of put in my face like this, and I'm like, oh my God, I missed a whole ridiculous scandal, but apparently everyone knew about this.
Yeah. Well, it's a good show. It's super fun to watch. We hope you guys liked it. If you want the video versions of our recaps, always find those on patreon.com/watchitcrappens, as well as our bonus episodes, which we do a lot of recaps like this of shows that are not on Bravo over on our bonuses, or we just talk about our lives or whatever. And also Patreon will be changing a bit soon, so that'll be easier to navigate and deal with. So we'll let you know when that happens this month. And otherwise, thanks so much for being here, guys. We love you. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurtz.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
She's a total knockout. It's Katie Manock. Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Let's get feely with Maggie Sheely.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
Cast a Spell with Shannon Spellman. The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.